Welcome back. So, it's been a crazy week. Honestly, it has been a crazy week. So, if you don't know who I am, I'm Mark there. I've been in the markets now for about 2 years. I purely focus on technical analysis. I believe that the fundamentals are already based in your technicals, and we can clearly see this with this left head, right shoulder on Bitcoin. But with that being said, none of this is financial advice. This is just purely for educational purposes only and for entertainment purposes only. If you're looking to enter the market or get into the market, remember it is highly volatile. It's very high risk. Inquire with a financial advisor. But with that being said, today, this episode is going to be a weekly review and my outlook for this coming weekend and where I see us possibly going starting next week and into next week. So with that being said, we're going to start with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and then Solana. So hope you enjoy this video, and with that being said, let's get started. Last week we had this beautiful bearish engulfing form, almost completing a double top around this 184 level. This week we've had a massive rejection and a bit of a push up to the upside. So this week is very vital, and the news that's coming out in the next hour and a bit is NFP. So I'm obviously releasing this just before New York Open, before all of this news coming out. So that is why I wanted to do it, because this will set the stage for this coming week. So there's no technicals on drawn up currently besides moving average. I just want to go over a raw chart at the moment. So on the weekly, we can clearly see that beautiful rejection. This was by far the biggest liquidation in cryptocurrency history, but percentage wise it was decent size. But because there are so many more people in the market now, when it came to monetary value, it was worth a couple billion that was liquidated. So if we come back here now, check on the technicals, we can clearly see that wick that happened on Monday was crazy. It was crazy. We've had price bounce off this 92 level multiple times. So it's nothing new that we're bouncing off it. The difference is this time when we are bouncing off here, we have this left head, right shoulder formation that has formed here. We have failed to body close above this 106 level, which has been a bit of a problem. 106,500 been a bit of a problem, and this was always, if you go back and watch my old videos, if you look at my Twitter, I kept on saying if we do not get a body close above here, this is going to be a bit of a problem, because we've rejected 1, 2, 3 multiple times. We've wicked it. Bodies we've rejected it twice, so it's quite significant, and it's holding very strong. We now currently on the daily have this EMA in this area of interest above price. So this again is not a great sign for bullish. What I am liking is that we had this beautiful doji yesterday, push up, rejection, and now it looks like we could possibly, I do like how we have that bottom wick already formed, but we honestly could be looking to fill in this wick. If we get that fill in wick back to about 100,000 for each day with news and agreeing with news, then that will put us back to a really positive side of the market. On the downside though, if we don't, and we again have just a clean wick up, reject EMA, reject area of interest, we will then see this wick being filled. And that I can guarantee you is that these wicks, especially when we go bearish, are definitely looking to be filled. Sometimes they don't always get filled like here, but sometimes they do most oftenly get filled. So with that being said, today's again a very vital day. Is if we don't have that beautiful push up because of news and close above it, it's going to be a bit more worrying, because now we possibly come down to 192. If we lose 192, yeah, our next level will be about 72, between 72 and 74,000. So if we do lose this 92 level, that is where our next target is. On the weekly, you can clearly see if we pull in that wick, we'll then have perfect left head, beautiful double top formation or M formation, and we are looking then to push all that back down. On the weekly, it's even more significant. It is back to 72 odd that we would push. But that being said, if we can range here for a bit more longer, then we can definitely look for that bigger break towards the upside. So where do I see Bitcoin going in the coming days is this news here. With NFP coming out is going to be vital. Is going to honestly be a bit of a tipping point for us on where our outlook is. According to the technicals, I do see us coming back into the zone, rejecting it and heading further down. So basically having that push, possibly closure within it, and then rejection, possibly tomorrow because it's a weekend, so consolidation. You can see consolidation on weekends, and then Monday having that drawdown, having that EMA above us. That for me would logically make sense, is that we have that body closure inside here. Tomorrow we get a bit of a rejection, hesitation. Sunday, a bit of hesitation. Monday, a complete push down. So that being said, that is what the technicals are saying, and I'm really hoping that actually this time around the technicals are wrong, but again, the technicals never lie. So how I see it going is today, if we don't have that sudden break above and closure above this break in close, weekend consolidation, not too much movement, Monday drop is looking pretty much sorted, but we'll have to see. I will do a rundown on this on Sunday for my weekly outlook, and by then we'll have a bit more clarity on where about the market is going. For now, we have shifted a bit bearish, according to technicals. Overall, on the weekly, we're still very much bullish, but on the daily, we are bearish. So this today will be quite vital, and this weekend will be quite vital to see where we end up. We could hopefully clearly see this massive, a bit of a liquidation, and then that push, massive liquidation, a bit more drawdown, and then that break up. That could be a possibility. I would really like that, but we've got to see what happens. Onto Ethereum. Ethereum's crazy. Ethereum's gone nowhere. Gone absolutely the whole of 2024 came out, and then got about 4,000, and it kind of just stayed there. That was it. Didn't go run up too much more. Yeah, it did run up from about 2.5 to about 4, but then again, it just ranged. It didn't really break this 4,000 area. What I do like on the weekly is obviously that we are still very much bullish, but what I am really liking, that we had this left head, right shoulder. You can clearly see this, and that left head, this right shoulder, and that push. So what I'm liking now is that this week, this massive liquidation took out all these long positions here, which was very nice. But what's even more positive is that we are retesting this left head and right shoulder, and we haven't had that retest. So from Ethereum point of view, this is still looking really clean, really super. I'm really liking this Ethereum chart. On the daily though, it's not looking that clean. On the daily, we can kind of see we have this sort of downtrend. That price keeps bouncing off. We lost these two support, 3,500, 3,200, 2,900. We lost that support, and there we can clearly see this range that we was kind of sitting in. It looks like we are returning back to that range. But like I've said, today's news is very important, because if we do have a positive outlook and the markets do agree and we do have that push up, we could then potentially start looking to go to breaking this. Again, but we do have this downtrend and this EMA following, so it's not looking the most positive. But if we can get that push up here, possibly this afternoon, closure within, we can then start looking at this trend line and then a possible break and retest of this trend line, and that will give us confirmation that we are now ready to start clearing out and going higher. From a very technical perspective, as long as we don't drop below 2300, I am looking very, very confident, because the reason I say 2300 is I like 2000 basically to 2500. If we body close below this structure point right over here, this is going to then shift the weekly bearish, and if the weekly shifts bearish, we then have this on the monthly. I know this is very, very far out. You can already see this double top formation forming. Here we had this left head, right shoulder back in 2021, 2022, and we had that sun. We had beautiful climb. Now we have that double top. So it's still a long month ahead, but again, this 2500, this little structure point there is very, very vital. If we close below it, we're basically much done. We have shifted bearish on the weekly. It is just not looking positive. If we hold above it, it will look really, really positive. So I'm really liking Ethereum, depending on how we end off this week. If we can end off with this candle being a bit basically holding buyers, so we have to pull in that over literally today with news, and then that would give us confirmation that we are actually rejecting it and buyers are starting to step in. We can see that engulfing whatever next we can start pushing up. We also have this EMA above starting to creep up above, which means if we close like this week will look to get filled in. We'll get that small little wick up into the zone, EMA over it, and then we'll look to fill it. So not looking the cleanest. Again, today is the day that we have to really depend on this. On the 4 hour, it does look like we're having a bit of a accumulation area here, where price is basically just holding this little area here, which is perfect. We're just holding it, and with news, if we get that break up, positive. If we don't, we are looking straight at taking out this 2500 odd, and then 2300 we'll find possibly support. So that being said, I'll have an update for you on Ethereum on Sunday night. Solana is quite an interesting one as well. This one, we were waiting here for this retest. We were looking at this retest. We thought this was a beautiful retest, and we're actually starting to push up, but price literally pushed up, rejected this double top, and then we started having that push down. We are still sitting comfortably above 180, which I am really, really liking. What I'm not liking is that we are all filling in this week here, but we have seen price get to this area and reject. As long as we stay above 180, we will be perfect. Again, you can see on the weekly we're forming that double top. Like I said, if it goes below 180, we have got a bit of a problem, because then we'll look to take off that small structure point there around 160, and then we'll possibly come all the way back to 120, and then that was obviously not good. We did obviously wick it, and we were looking for that body closure above 160, which we did get. Then on the next day, which literally created an all-time high, we were hoping to get that rejection to hold us above it to continue that push up, but obviously that didn't happen. So now we're back here. So like I said, today we could either see price having that beautiful push up, forming this engulfing maybe two days, which will be a bit more positive. If not, we'll then see the push down a bit more, and then pulling that wick, and if we're pulling that wick, we're breaking 180, body closing below 180, wait for that retest. I'll probably de-risk, because then we're going down straight to possibly 120 if everything works out according to the technicals. With XRP again is looking quite positive. I am quite liking the XRP chart as well. You'll notice that I redrew this up. Before I had lots of additional lines and that. Now I just have these 3 areas of interest and my previous high. Obviously there is a high, but according to this cycle, this is our high, was $3.40. So again, like I said, very similar to the other ones. Is on the weekly, which is very nice, is we are still extremely bullish. We create that higher high, which I do like. On the monthly, we haven't had that. We haven't had a pullback or a rejection or whatever it is to then continue pushing up. We are obviously above this previous high, above this $2, which is a solid resistance level or support level now. Again, what I'm looking at is here on the daily is if we get that push up and we get a rejection, or this weekend we get that push up and maybe hold Monday, push up, hesitation or rejection, and then continue to push down, we just mustn't body close below this $2 level. If we body close below this $2 level, it is it's considered broken. We'll also be breaking this structure. Yes, we have broken this structure here and we are now bearish on the daily, but again, if we get that little bit of news and if we manage to reclaim this $2.60, $2.70 area, this will be really positive. As of right now, we haven't gotten there, so we're looking quite bearish and we could possibly see this run back to $2. Solana, we've been over Solana, very similar thing has happened here. You can kind of see all the charts are basically the same, with that, looking for that retest to continue pushing down. Bitcoin, again, looking for that retest to push down. I do like how we are gaining a bit more momentum, looking to fill in this week during this NFP period. So yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching, and catch you on Sunday when I do my weekly outlook and we review what has happened today. With that being said, have a beautiful weekend and I'll see you soon.